Hello everyone, this is Justin, and what I have for you today is probably the most extreme pumpkin carving YouTube video yet for this channel. It is also, in fact, the only carving of the pumpkin video that we have on here. But someone asked me to carve a pumpkin. I've been kind of on a Star Wars kick lately, so I thought it's time to turn this pumpkin into Darth Maul. Probably should have given it maybe just a little bit more thought before I got started. With every project I do, it seems like I need to sit down and plan and research and do little sketches and notes, and I was just like, I've had enough of that. Let's just dive in. Let's just grab some markers, some cutting tools, and let's just go to town. Here I'm just sketching out the face with the old red Sharpie. It turned out that the surface of the pumpkin was a little bit more slippery than I thought. Whatever pumpkin sweat is on there, it mixes real nice with the markers. I drew the stuff that I wanted to leave. And of course, when you're doing any of this pumpkin stuff, what you're carving and leaving will then be the positive. And what you're actually cutting and removing, the negative, that will actually then be the highlight when you put a light inside of the pumpkin and it lights up and looks real spooky and cool. And I've always liked the design of Darth Maul, one of the very few things I took away from Phantom Menace. Going toe-to-toe with a couple Jedis, I thought that was so cool. And the music. And I've always liked the design of his makeup and the design of these geometric shapes on his face. So I was like, I bet that would look cool on a pumpkin. I am by no means an expert pumpkin carver. I just grabbed a few loose tools and started going at it. Probably should have cut the top off and removed the innards first. I kind of just got a little excited and started diving in and chipping away at it. But because later you'll see how fragile and flimsy the pieces that are left on the front of the face are when you start removing most of the pieces around it that help anchor and support it. And I definitely kind of, as I was going, I was like, oh, okay, I probably should have left this. I should have left that to hold this. But hey, that's what toothpicks are for. I pretty much just used an X-Acto knife to slice into it. Of course, the X-Acto knife wasn't very sharp. Probably should have put a fresh blade in there. But I was like, it's too late. I'm going. Let's do this. Using various tools. I tried like a flathead screwdriver. I thought that might work. I tried even like a blade from a Swiss Army knife. I was like, it's not really doing exactly what I need. Turns out the best thing was this flat spatula that is actually used for, I think, sculpting out of all things with clay. And I think some makeup artists use it too. That turned out to be pretty good after I sliced with the X-Acto knife to make my lines, and then I just kind of went in there and cleaned up. Because up until Phantom Menace, I mean, we had the greatest evil in the Star Wars saga, Darth Vader empowering all that evil alongside the Emperor. And I thought, wow, look at this guy. He's from head to toe dressed all in black, and he's got this cool red like tattoo or face paint on, and he removes his hood and reveals these spiky horns on his head and fires up his lightsaber with not one but two crimson blades. And before he begins to square off against our two Jedi heroes, he growls. There's like this I'm like, oh man, we're in for it now. And it was just I remember that feeling, seeing him fight Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn, and I was like, wow, that was great, and really helped make sitting through that whole Gungan battle droid fight at the end totally worth it. As you can see, I'm going around and hollowing out some of the pieces. This is actually sped up footage. I do not actually move this fast. That would be wild if I did. Unfortunately, I've been told quite the opposite. The teeth, they were they were a little bit of a challenge. I kind of made it a little bit bigger than normal, just because I knew it would be really small. And then it's time to take the knife and hollow out the top and start removing the innards. And yeah, this is where I definitely know it's like, yeah, this should have been step one, but I was too excited. The KitchenAid knife, that sliced through there like butter and was also very, very slippery. Once it came into contact with that pumpkin juice, I had to be very careful, but it worked pretty good. That is actually a long kebab stick. That worked real good for kind of punching through the teeth and just, kind of punching some of those pumpkin pieces back through the pumpkin. Started working on the chin. Of course, the piece that was there was real flimsy and fell off, so hey, that's what toothpicks are for. And then I sharpened up the stem on top into a spike, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like wood. So I quickly made 4 wooden spikes to stick on the side of his head, And then I took just a cheap little tap light from a local dollar store and put that inside, and it just glowed like the second moon of Endor. So there you have it, Darth Maul-KIN.
At last we'll reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we'll have revenge.
Happy Halloween, guys.